6:30 on the dot. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining another session of Kaizen Reading Group. We are happy to have everyone to share our knowledge, what we've gained so far. This is the 10th session, 10th lesson in this book. We read part 2, the 9th lesson last week, taken by Abolaji. And this week we'll be taking part 3, which is everyone helps those who act and associate with positive people. And we are looking at lesson 9. Right? Okay, so and we have a reviewer here with us. Her name is Evelyn Okabwa. Yes, so and we'll be reviewing, she'll be pointing her art out to us. She'll be telling us how she associates with the positive people. She'll be explaining from her own perspective. And I'm sure that everyone, after she had already poured her out and given us all the juice, everyone will also give us their own contributions, right? And I know that when I was reading this book, it actually talked about Mike and his environment, right? And she will just be doing justice to it. So don't let me talk too much because I know that she has a lot in stock for us. While we'll add little things for her, and you can see she's already smiling. She's happy. She's feeling the positive attitude, the positive vibe is already there. So let's just give the virtual lesson to our lovely Evelyn this evening to take us through lesson 9. Thank you all as you all listen. Evelyn, over to you. We can't hear you. You're muted. Please unmute your mic.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Right. Yes, we can hear you. You're good to go. Please.
Okay.
The floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Evelyn Okoba. Okay, so I would begin with saying it's an honor to be on this platform as a reviewer. Then secondly, I would like to show my deep appreciation to the Kaizen team for putting together such an amazing platform where we can get educated, at least on a weekly basis. We are sure we're learning something new every week. And it's a plus, especially now that the society is beginning to lose it when it comes to moral and character. So I say thank you to the team. So I'll begin with the review for the week. We're reviewing the associating with positive people, part 3. And the part 3 began with a very unique statement that says heaven helps those who act. I would like to say this is a used version, because growing up we used to know one in our local dialect that says, or in our local language that says heaven helps those who help themselves. So I think it's more relatable when we say it that way, like heaven help those who help themselves. And then it actually just means, even as much as whatever it is we know, we just know it until we act. So it's in our actions that it becomes, that's when we're able to say, okay, we have begun fully to own whatever it is we want to do. Then the quote, a mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. I think that also really touched me while I was reading the book, saying the kind of friends. It's just like growing up, we used to say, show me your friend and I'll tell you whom you are. That's exactly what I think that's exactly what I feel that refers to. So when you show your friends, we really know whom you are, and the kind of circle you keep really has a way of influencing you, either negatively or positively. But I want us to go a little out of the box today, because I believe that while reading, I try to understand a couple of things outside of the box. The first thing is, we are all looking at trying to choose, or rather how to choose positive friends and have positive people around us. But I think the first question is, are you a positive person? I always believe that you cannot really, like the beginning of the book, for those of us that started the book, there's this, the mirror aspect of the book that taught us about you really, what you are is what you are, what you reflect and what you attract is actually what is in your mind. So I also feel that coming from that angle, we should also first of all look at, ask ourselves if we are really positive people, so that in as much as those that we are looking for can also be looking for us, we can get, it will be a mutual relationship. Let it not be that we are looking for positive people whereas we are toxic. So that's my first point about the book. So I understand that we should actually make it a duty to really be positive people, while we also look for positive people as friends. Then the Mike story in the book is a great reminder of how others influence our lives, and the way people around us can influence us. Sometimes it's often said that the words you hear over time can have a way of sinking into you, and then you begin to reproduce the kind of the word that is in you. So when you have positive friends around you, positive people around you, and if you're a positive-minded person too, I think it will help you have positive vibes always, and negativity will have no reason to dwell in you. Then we went further to say, I went further to understand that in getting positive friends, we have to be intentional. And when it comes to being intentional about choosing our friends, I think our values have a lot to play here. So when it comes to the kind of values we have, because I believe that in choosing friends, we have to choose friends that align with our values. What kind of positive values do we keep as a person so that we can really know what to look out for in other people? I believe in the fact that if you don't discover yourself, you cannot even know what you're looking for in someone else. I think the first point of call is self-discovery before you move into looking for, so that you can really know what you're looking for in the other person, and you even know what to take positive, because it's a thing of, it's a mindset. You might, what I tag positive, or what I term positive might not be positive to someone else. So I think if you create your values, you understand yourself, you know what you really want. By so doing, you will know how to attract positive people, that you always have the same values, and then you can share the same point of views in life. And then it can also help your career and every other aspect of your life. So it says, tell me who you hang out with, and I'll tell you who you are. That's just, it's a big grammar. It's just explaining, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. So he talked about growing up when our parents used to look out for our friends and tell us, you're following a bad guy. I think a couple of us can relate to that. When our parents always, this person you're following is bad, person you're following is good. It was just that, I think that's their own local intelligence. That was actually their own instincts of trying to guide us growing up. And I think for those of us who had maybe the wrong influences in our lives, I think at some point we really realized and we retraced our steps. Myself personally, at some point growing up as a teenager, I know I had a couple of friends that were not good people. Were not good people, and they really influenced me. Not until I got into the university, that's when I was actually able to put myself together, understand myself. Then I had to write out my values, and it helped me eliminating a lot of people that did not share the same value with me, that I had kept over years in my cycle. And sometimes the book also, the chapter also talks about the effect of negative people, or negative friends or toxic people when it comes to your nurturing your idea or your dreams. They have the ability to kill the dreams you have, because they are not dreamers. And I think it gets to affect a lot of people. And sometimes we would just have a situation where you have something really good in you, because every big dream begins as an idea. You nurse it, you share it with someone. It depends on the reaction you get with the person. I think that's what now helps you maybe furthermore on whatever it is you're nursing as as an idea or as a dream, as a vision you have for yourself in life. Take, for instance, the Kaizen group. It started as an idea in someone's mind, and probably he shared it with a couple of people, and maybe they gave him a positive impact, and that's why we're able to benefit from it today. That's how it works. And I think that's why it's really important we look out for those we speak to, especially when we're having new dreams and new ideas in us. We should ensure that we have the right set of people around us to talk to, so that they can help us birth whatever it is we have as our dreams and visions, and also our goals. Then we went further to talk about the chapter went further to talk about how toxic people, characteristic of toxic people, how to identify them. I think that will actually help us identify them. It says that they see things, their perspective is always in the negative direction. They always try to drag you down. They see a lot of impossibilities. This reminds me of a story of a popular story of a glass cup that has half water filled halfway in it, and then some other person says that as half full, and another person says it's what, half empty. It's just a function of perspective. So negative people or toxic people tend to see things as what with the impossibility perspective part of their mind. They always feel, oh, this mountain is too high, I can't even climb it. Let's not even attempt it. Let's not go there. But in the positive people are those who are nourishing. Once you bring out an idea, they help you see, okay, how can we get to do this? What's my input? They always want to see you grow. They always want to see you thrive. And then if you have such circle, each time you come around them, it's always what's new, what's happening. That will become your conversation, and it has a way of actually fueling you to do more. And if you have a circle like that, I think one of the impacts is you just want to keep growing, because everybody seems to have one thing they're working on at every point in time of their life, and it will help you remain focused, have a positive energy. And I think and it will also help you create your impact in life. It will help you leave your scar even when you're gone. It will help you leave a legacy in life when you're done. Then it talks about the power of reinforcement, I think, and the power of repetition. When he cited the example of you hear a song on the radio, a bad song on the radio, a song with a negative lyrics on the radio, over time, you begin to sing. You see yourself humming or dancing or even singing the words of those songs. You do not necessarily sit down to learn it, but because of the power of repetition, the things you hear over and over and over and over again, somehow unconsciously it sinks into you. And then you begin to produce a fruit like the kind of whatever it is you have in you. So I think this is a very crucial as part of the book, so we should always be conscious. That teaches us to be conscious of what we listen to, what we hear, what we pay attention to around us. It might not necessarily be friends. It can even come from music. It will come from the kind of books we read. So we should just always be mindful of what we feed ourselves with, consciously or unconsciously. It actually gets into us without being sieved. And over time, we realize that we are beginning to act in that manner. Then he went further to talk about your friends, the way your friends can choke your dream. They can cause your vision. And positive friends can actually stretch your vision, while the negative or toxic people they can choke your dreams. Then it talks about where to get positive reinforcement also, where you have motivational books and tips. Then you spend lots of time with positive people, that people with a very good positive mindset. Then there's also another explanation of the smoky sponge explanation of human beings, where it says human beings are like sponge, where whatever you drop them in, they tend to absorb. So it just talks about the kind of environment you keep, those you keep around you, what you listen to, you just keep absorbing them or absorbing the things you discuss and engage yourself in unconsciously. And over time, you see that you are replicating that kind. Then it says what to do when you find yourself in a toxic environment. And it advises you just walk away as soon as possible. I think that was Smokey's advice in the book. He said, just walk away as soon as possible. And another key aspect for me is evaluating your friendship. He says that from time to time, we should learn to evaluate our friendship, because over time, people you think you know today, they might have changed their values tomorrow, or they might have changed the perspective of things they do tomorrow. And it's so funny in life that those you call your friends today, they are friends to other people too. So you can't say this person is my friend and is stuck with me, because the person might have his own work environment, he might have family circles, he might have a couple of other friends around, and you cannot trust those people are toxic if they are positive or negative. So that's why there's a need for this, I think, periodic evaluation of friendship, of those you keep around you and that you call friends. From time to time, always ensure to check if they still share the same values you share when you began the friendship, if they still believe in the same thing you believe in, if they're still positive minded. And from time to time, the way they sound, I learned something, I think about a year ago, that changed my life. It says that for 90% of the time of things that are in people's mind are in the unspoken words. So whatever someone says is just 10%. The real motive of people, you just listen more. When you listen more, you can fix the puzzles in between the words they've actually shared or they've said, then you know what's really on their mind. So oftentimes in evaluating friendship, I think it's important you listen more. When you share ideas, you listen more to understand the person's stance on whatever you're talking about. That will help you really know if the person is still a positive friend or a negative friend. And as soon as you understand that the person is becoming toxic, you just leave, or you look for a way to distance yourself from the relationship while you go on searching for other people that can influence you positively. Then it says those who occupy your time have a significant impact on your most priceless possession, that is your mind. So I think here the Bible, I think it permits me to quote the Bible. It always says you guard your mind. You should always guard your mind, because the mind is a fertile, whatever is planted on it grows. So if be it negative or positive, it has tendency of growing. That's why there's a need for you to ensure that those around you are always positive, so that you actually be sure that every seed planted in your heart is germinating positively and will have a great impact. Then he went further to talk about dealing with toxic friends, toxic relatives. Sometimes friends are actually easier to avoid. But when it comes to relatives, one way or the other, you must actually run into a couple of them through family functions or different kind. One activity or the other will bring you together. And it says you gently, sometimes you avoid when they're trying to raise negative conversations. You just avoid them and don't dwell in them. You don't engage in them. You raise something else. You talk about something else that's positive, or you try as much as possible to have an area of concentration while conversing with them. You don't have to go deep to sharing things that are, sharing your very little baby dreams and anything you feel that is so precious to you at the time when you're talking to them. Oftentimes, it's just better you leave. You just discuss general issues. Don't go into anything personal, so that they don't have a way of influencing your dreams or the outcome of whatever it is you're nursing in you. Then it talks about something else also struck me while reading chapter 3. It says that how to legally, I think you're talking about a course where people talk about how to legally fire employees with attitude problems. But the question I asked myself, and I said, am I one? I think it's here I have to ask myself, am I really one? Am I one of the employees with a negative attitude? Do I have a negative, vibe? at my place of work. Because oftentimes I think it's always easier to point one finger at someone, whereas we ignore the four pointing back at us. So I think it's a time, it really made me reflect deeply about myself, how my perspective to issues, how I approach issues, how I attend to people, and how I also encourage people when they share their dreams with me, whether it's really my kind of lifestyle or it's really what I believe in, or what I just try to make sure I see the positivity in it, and I just encourage them, and life goes on. Then it says it's essential to associate with positive people if you want to be a high achiever and a happy person. It's amazing how the circles we keep, or the kind of people we keep in our circle, influence our health. And this book actually buttresses that being healthy is, I think, okay, being happy helps you to be healthy. And when you're always happy and fulfilled when you are actually working in line with your dreams. And and the circle you keep around you has a way of influencing the actions you take towards your dreams and towards your daily activities, and then towards whom you want to become, whom you feel you're looking at, your future being, who you want to become, who you see yourself as becoming in future. And it says good friends are good for your health. It talks about how keeping friends, is how keeping good friends around you are healthy for you. Healthy even when it comes to your mental health, healthy even in your physical health. I think generally it just has a way of boosting your self-esteem, boosting everything, making you really healthy as a person in all ramifications. I think I would stop here and wait for other people to also contribute. Thank you so much.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Evelyn. Thank you for that fantastic contribution. We've Yes, so I'll just add one or two things to what she has said. In fact, she has said it all. Even me too, when I was reading the book, I had to like reflect myself that this one is talking about surrounding yourself with positive influence. And the Mike story was, he just said it all. When he was with the wrong guys, he wasn't moving forward. But immediately he switched. We saw growth, real growth. So what I learned before I asked anybody to like drop their chat, what I learned from the book, I'll just add two things to it, is that you need to surround yourself with positive influences. And what are the benefits of this? It actually increases your self-esteem. Like, so I'll use an example. Someone might, maybe that person, like, person doesn't look up to, when you're talking to someone, just for you to increase your self-esteem, you have to like look directly into the person's face. Some people don't look directly. I know I had that problem at the time, and I learned how to like, I'll just look at you and just be talking, right? So yes, when you mingle with good people, they help you, they see your own difficulties and help you along. And I guess that was how a friend actually helped them. They motivate you, they increase your creativity, they help you. It also helps with networking. So your friends, the people you work with, will actually make you or man you. That is it. So if you're working with people that they are always negative, no, we can, yes, like the example that Bolaji gave last week. She talked about Nigeria's situation. If you keep working with people that keep complaining that Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that, still in this Nigeria, people are making it. So if you work with those kind of people that are in Nigeria and they are saying, yes, I can, in this land is very fertile and I know I will move forward, I will make it in life. Yes, that positivity would actually help us to move. And the quote that Kazim also dropped, good friends are good for your health. It reduces your headache. It reduces your headache, because when you are surrounded with people that are always complaining, people that they will just, once they come today, they just start ranting. You keep having headache. Seriously, it can even land you to hospital. But when you have people that are always positive, they're always zealous, they're always happy, you too, you also be happy. So yes, thank you, Evelyn. At this junction, any other contribution? Yes, I saw a chat from Sulaiman. He said he recalled how his mother stopped him from rolling with people in primary school. He hated her for that, but it helped him at the long run. So thank you to your mom. So you can either drop a chat or just identify yourself. And Benedict here, please, you can unmute yourself and add one or two things to it. Thank you. You
Oh,
can use the chat box.
thank you so much, and Evelyn, thank you so much. Very excellent and straight to the point. One thing that struck me deeply has to do with self-discovery, and from my own experience in life, I have discovered that self-discovery, especially for some of us that may have derailed, from that right positive path, that positive way of thinking. Self-discovery usually happens during challenging times. So I guess my own bit would be that let us not shy away from challenging times. Like we just heard, yes, things are tough in Nigeria, but could there be an opportunity? And the answer is yes, an opportunity for you to self-discover, to find opportunities that people who have submerged themselves in complaining endlessly without any action seem to have lost sight of. So I guess that's what I could really relate to from a personal and very deep experience, that challenging times are often that catalyst towards self-discovery. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much for that addition. We have a chat from Kende Bukola. She says, please, is it wrong to be friends with people, with someone who they are older than? It's not wrong. I have people that are older than me and I have people that are younger than me. You actually learn both ways. People that are older than you can actually give you guidance. People that are also younger than you can also give you guidance. So it's not wrong to be friends with people that are older than you. So far, they are positive, they add value to your life. Though I ensure that I have either I'm impacting your life or you're impacting my life. That's how I see friends. Yeah, it has to be mutual, right? You either impact the person's life, either the person is having difficulty. Let's just use go back to school. We have 2 more minutes. Let's just go back to school. When you're going to school, your friends, if you mingle with first class students, obvious, even if you are third class, this is a practical example. Even if you are taught class, that person will manage to finish as a 2-1. I knew someone in year 1 that started with a third class, and because she had to change her friends, she actually got a 2-1, which was actually surprising to people. Yes, she ended up with a 2-1. So I feel, yes, so far the person is adding value to your life. Yes, why not? It's not wrong.
I
Any other comments from
Please,
anybody?
can I contribute to that question?
Yes,
I think
please.
it's not,
Okay,
it's
go
actually
ahead
not
then,
wrong.
Jimon.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Evelyn. Go
Okay,
ahead
okay,
after
okay.
you, Jimon
I,
will go.
I, I just want to react to her question about having is it wrong having friends that are older than you? I see having friends older than you as an advantage as long as they're positive people, because they save you the pain that has to do with experience. They've gone ahead of you, they've told a particular link. So oftentimes when you have new ideas, they just tell you, they save you a lot. They just tell you this way, don't do it. I did it this way and it didn't work. They have a lot of stories to tell you and to guide you. So it helps you compress years and it saves you pain, and then it helps you progress faster. It's just like having a shortcut around you to almost everything you do. So I think it's a positive one.
All right,
Thank you
thank
so
you,
much,
Jimon.
Evelyn.
You
That was
can go
fantastic.
ahead and we'll just round up with Jimon. Okay, he's not going. Okay, so I guess we just have 1 more minute and I'll just round up with saying thank you to everyone that joined this session. We have a Kaizen reading group WhatsApp. If you need the number, we could send it to you. We are on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all the social network. We'll drop all the handles. If you need them, you can contact any of us and we'll be available to drop that. Thank you, everyone, once again. See you same time next week. We'll drop the post for the book that we'll be reading next week, and we'll have a fantastic discussion next week. See you. Bye.